Morning. I had to get out of that sunshine. It's too bright. Okay. So never mind me this morning. I just got back from my morning walk and wanted to get a couple books in. Today's book is A Visit from the Tooth Fairy. We have a few Blue's Clues books in our collection. Josh and Jaden loved Blue's Clues, and so we definitely had a few. One morning, while Blue was brushing her teeth, she suddenly noticed a funny feeling in her mouth. One of her teeth was moving a little. She wiggled it back and forth, slowly at first and then a bit faster. "I have a loose tooth," she said excitedly. Then she dashed off to find Joe. These are in the days of Joe instead of Steve. "Wow, you have a loose tooth?" asked Joe in amazement. "Why is it loose?" "Blue's tooth is ready to come out," explained Mrs. Pepper. "What will you do with your tooth after it comes out?" Joe wondered. Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper. "I'll put it under my pillow," said Blue, "so the tooth fairy can come." At school that day, Blue proudly showed her loose tooth to Miss Marigold. Then she showed her friends. "Does it hurt?" asked Periwinkle. "Not a bit," Blue replied. "Will it hurt when it comes out?" asked Magenta. Blue looked a little worried. "I don't think so," she said. "I guess we'll have to wait and see." That is a worry, huh, if it's going to hurt a little bit. "Have you ever seen the Tooth Fairy?" asked Green Puppy. "No," Blue replied. "I wonder what she looks like." "Why don't we draw some pictures of what we think the Tooth Fairy looks like?" Miss Marigold suggested. And that is what the class did. Look at all those pictures of what a potential tooth fairy looks like. Every day, Blue's tooth got a little looser. She wiggled it while she read. She wiggled it while she played. She even wiggled it while she took a bath. After a few more days, Blue's tooth became so loose she could wiggle it with her tongue. And then, during music time, it happened. Blue was wiggling her tooth when suddenly it fell out, and it didn't hurt a bit. Miss Marigold put Blue's tooth in a special box so Blue could keep it safe. Blue proudly showed her friends the tooth. She showed them the space where the tooth used to be. It was fun to fill the empty space with her tongue. "Soon a grown-up tooth will begin to grow in the space where you lost your baby tooth," said Miss Marigold. "That is so exciting," said Joe when he saw Blue's tooth. "Do you think the tooth fairy will really come tonight?" "I hope so," said Blue, "but Miss Marigold says no one knows what she looks like because she only comes if you're asleep." Before she went to bed that night, Blue put her tooth under her pillow. Sometimes sometimes it helps to put the tooth like in something so we don't lose it. That night, Blue had a dream. She dreamed the tooth fairy came to visit her. "Hello, Blue," said the tooth fairy. "What a big girl you are to have lost a tooth." Blue smiled to show the tooth fairy the space where her tooth had been. The tooth fairy reached under Blue's pillow and pulled out the tooth. "Well," she said delightedly, "this is a very lovely tooth." "Thanks," said Blue. "I will take good care of it," said the tooth fairy as she carefully placed the tooth in her special pouch. Then she waved her wand and disappeared in a cloud of sparkly dust. When Blue woke up the next morning, the first thing she did was feel under her pillow. "The tooth fairy came, the tooth fairy came," she shouted. "She took my tooth and left me a surprise." Blue dashed away to tell Joe. Joe was just as excited as Blue. You were right, Blue. The tooth fairy really did come, he said. Blue just smiled a great big smile. Looks like Blue got a little maybe necklace or something there from the tooth fairy, huh? It's awesome. Thanks for joining me this morning.